Running a business with a team works exactly like owning a restaurant with a full kitchen staff. You hire cooks, waiters, managers, you pay salaries, handle sick days, deal with drama, and pray nobody quits on a Friday night. Now imagine that same restaurant runs itself. The orders get taken, the food gets made, the customers get served, and you're paying $47 a month instead of $4,700. That's not a fantasy. That's what happened to my business in January 2024. I had 3 virtual assistants: inbox management, content repurposing, customer support, good people, real people, and I let them all go, not because they were bad at their jobs, but because AI agents were doing the same work faster, cheaper, and without a single sick day. Once you see a business through this lens, a restaurant that never closes, never complains, never asks for a raise, you cannot unsee it. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, I'm going to show you the exact 5-agent system I built, the software stack powering it, and the $47 monthly bill that replaced a $6,000 payroll. And yes, I'll show you the receipts. Let me give you the real picture before we get into the tools. In Q4 of 2023, I was paying 3 virtual assistants a combined $6,200 per month. One handled my email and calendar, about 4 hours a day. One repurposed my long-form content into shorts, tweets, and newsletters, roughly 6 hours a day. One handled customer support tickets for my digital products, easily 5 hours a day. That's 15 hours of human labor every single day. Now here's what nobody talks about when they hire VAs. You're not just paying for hours, you're paying for onboarding, retraining, mistakes, miscommunications, and the cognitive overhead of managing human beings. I tracked it in a spreadsheet. I was spending 11 hours a week just managing my team. That's 44 hours a month I wasn't building, creating, or selling. I wasn't running a business. I was running an HR department. And then, in December 2023, I started testing AI agents, not ChatGPT prompts, not basic automations, actual autonomous agents that could be given a goal and executed across multiple tools without me touching anything. By February 1st, 2024, my team was gone, my output doubled, my stress dropped, and my software bill, $47 a month. Here's exactly how I built it, agent by agent. Agent number 1, I call it the gatekeeper. Every morning at 7 a.m. before I've touched my phone, this agent has already processed my entire inbox. It reads every email, categorizes it, urgent, revenue, newsletter, junk, drafts responses for anything routine, flags the 2 or 3 emails that actually need me, and archives everything else. I built this using Make, formerly Integromat, connected to Gmail and GPT-4o via API. The prompt chain took me about 2 hours to build in January. Since then, it has processed over 3,400 emails. I've personally responded to 94 of them. That's a 97% automation rate on email, the single biggest time drain in most online businesses. My old VA was spending 4 hours a day doing exactly this. And before you say, but what about sensitive emails? Every draft sits in my drafts folder. I approve with one click. Nothing sends without my eyes on it. The gatekeeper doesn't replace agent number 2, and this one genuinely shocked me when I first saw it work. I call it the multiplier. Every time I publish a YouTube video or a long-form blog post, this agent wakes up, pulls the transcript, and within 23 minutes produces a Twitter thread, a LinkedIn post, 3 short-form hooks for Reels or TikTok, and a 400-word newsletter section, all formatted, all on brand, all waiting in a Google Doc for my one final approval. My VA who did this was honestly great, but she needed the video to be done. She needed to watch it. She needed context. She needed back and forth. The whole cycle took 6 to 8 hours per piece of content. The agent does it in under 25 minutes, every single time, at 2 a.m. if necessary. I built this one using Zapier connected to a custom GPT-4o prompt system and Notion as the output database. The total build time was about 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon. The multiplier alone saves me approximately 24 hours of labor every month. Think about what you do with 24 extra hours. That's the real ROI, not the money, the time. Agent 3 is the one most people don't believe until they see it. I call it the Resolver. My digital product business gets between 40 and 90 support tickets per week. Questions about access, refunds, how to use features, technical issues, affiliate questions, all of it. Before the Resolver, I had a VA spending 5 hours a day in Zendesk. Now, an AI agent handles 89% of those tickets completely autonomously. It pulls from a knowledge base I built in Notion. It checks order status via a Zapier connection to my payment processor, and it writes a personalized response, not a template, an actual personalized response, within 4 minutes of the ticket being submitted. The 11% of tickets it can't handle get flagged with a full summary and recommended response ready for me to edit and send. Average resolution time went from 18 hours to 4 minutes. My refund rate dropped by 31% because fast, accurate support makes customers feel respected, and respected customers don't refund. The Resolver runs on a combination of VoiceFlow for the logic layer and GPT-4o for the language layer. I'll link everything in the description. But here's where it gets really interesting. Agents 4 and 5 work together in a way I didn't even plan. Agent 4, the Prospector. This one is doing work I never even had a VA do because it was too expensive and too time-consuming. Every Monday morning, the Prospector scans 3 sources: my Google alerts for competitor mentions, a curated list of newsletters in my niche, and Reddit threads in 3 subreddits relevant to my audience. It synthesizes what it finds into a weekly trends briefing. What questions people are asking, what topics are trending, what gaps exist that I could address with content or a product. It also identifies 5 potential collaboration or partnership opportunities per week and drafts a personalized cold outreach email for each one, ready for my review. Before this agent, I was completely reactive with my content strategy. Now I'm 3 weeks ahead, minimum, because I have a research assistant running 24 hours a day that never gets tired, never misses a trend, and costs me essentially nothing because it runs inside an existing Make subscription. This agent single-handedly changed my content output from reactive to strategic, and it set up the conditions for Agent 5, which is the one that actually makes money while I sleep. Agent 5, the closer. And I want to be careful about how I describe this because I don't want to oversell it, but I also want to be honest about what it does. When someone opts into my email list, the closer kicks in. It analyzes what lead magnet they downloaded, what page they came from, and what behavior they showed on my site. It then selects from a library of 14 email sequences I wrote and assembles a custom nurture path for that specific subscriber. Not a one-size-fits-all drip. A dynamically assembled sequence based on that person's apparent interests and entry point. The result? My email-to-purchase conversion rate went from 2.1% to 4.7% between February and April 2024. On a list of 11,000 subscribers, that difference is not small. This agent runs on ActiveCampaign's automation logic combined with a GPT layer for dynamic subject line and preview text optimization, tested against open rate data every 2 weeks automatically. Now, at this point in the video, I want to show you the exact software stack making all 5 of these agents possible, because I've been getting questions about this in every single video for months. The full tool list with affiliate links is pinned in the comments and in the description below. The core stack, Make, Zapier, VoiceFlow, ActiveCampaign, and GPT-4o API access, comes to $47.23 per month at my current usage tier. I've linked everything with my affiliate codes, which means you get any available discounts and you support this channel at Here's the thing I want you to sit with. Every single one of these agents, the gatekeeper, the multiplier, the resolver, the prospector, the closer, they're not doing something magical. They're doing something systematic. And that's the entire point. Your VAs, if you have them, are good people doing systematic work, checking boxes, following processes, repeating tasks. That's not a criticism of VAs. It's a description of the category of work they're typically hired for. And that category of work, systematic, repeatable, process-driven, is exactly what AI agents are built for. What I kept for myself was everything that isn't systematic. The creative decisions, the strategic pivots, the relationship building, the final approval on anything client-facing. I'm not out of the loop. I'm just no longer in the loop for things that don't require me. The restaurant analogy I gave you at the start, remember that? The kitchen that runs itself? That's not the future of business. It's the present of business. As of right now, in 2024, you can build this system in a single weekend. You don't need a developer. You don't need a technical background. I have a business degree and I built all 5 agents using no-code tools and YouTube tutorials. The gap between businesses that adopt this and businesses that don't is going to widen extremely fast. The people who move now, in the next 90 days, will have a structural advantage that compounds every single month. So here's what I want you to do right now, and I mean right now, before you close this tab. Pick one. Just one of the 5 agents I described today. Not 5, not 2, 1. Look at your business right now and ask yourself, where am I personally doing work that a process could do instead of me? Is it your inbox? Your content repurposing? Your customer support responses? Start there. Open, Make, or Zapier. Both have free tiers, both are linked below, and build one automation this week. 1. Don't try to replace your entire team in a weekend. That's not how this works. I built these 5 agents over 6 weeks, testing each one for 2 weeks before I trusted it enough to rely on it. Give yourself the same runway. The goal for week 1 is simple. Automate one task that takes you more than 1 hour per day. That's it. Because once you do it once you see a workflow run at 3 a.m. without you, the mental model shifts, and you'll build the next one in half the time. I'll put a link in the description to the exact make template I used for the Inbox Gatekeeper. It's free to download, and you can have it running in under an hour if you follow the setup guide I included. Start there. 1 agent, 1 week. Report back in the comments. I read every single one. Before I let you go, 2 things. First, subscribe if you haven't already. I publish 1 video every week on exactly this. Real AI systems, real numbers, real results. No theory, no hype. Just what's actually working in 2024. Second, drop a comment right now telling me which agent you're building first. The gatekeeper, the multiplier, the closer? Tell me below. I personally reply to every comment in the first 24 hours after posting. The conversation in the comments on this channel is genuinely one of the best places to learn from other people building the same systems. I'll see you in next week's video. And remember, the restaurant doesn't care if you're sleeping. Build the kitchen. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only. AI results vary. Always verify AI-generated content before relying on it.